This way you get to open your booklet and see how it works if you're not opening it yet. So where were we? So just as a quick reminder, and for you to understand the implications of the Cartesian system. Quick reminder, you as a thinking substance, can you be sure of anything when it comes to the correlation of your thought to how things are in themselves? If you think that you are in space now and it is 3D, can you be sure that the thing itself, the room itself, not how you see it, think it, is indeed 3D, to make it simple? No. You see, there's really, you can doubt the correlation. Now, can you think anything which is not spatio-temporal and numerical? No. You see, on that level, you can be sure that whatever you think, whatever is represented to you is spatio-temporal and numerical. You can't think something, or imagine something, or remember something, or dream of something, if it's not appearing to you as in space-time and number. You can't. These are the conditions of any representations. Not any representation is blue, but any representation is different from you, standing for a while, and it has a number. Any representation. So you see, you don't have the capacity to think outside of these conditions or molds, like frameworks. But this doesn't mean that because you cannot think outside of this kind of framework, that now the world is itself the way you think it. I hope you're getting this difference. It's not because you cannot think things as different from space-time and number that now it means that the things are space-time and number. See, so Descartes is saying you are forced to think in space-time and number, but this doesn't mean that the thing itself is spatial, temporal, and numerical. I hope now this is clear. So how can you get out of your thought? This is what you were doing last time. You survey your thoughts. Say, I have the thought of an angel, I have the thought of a lion, I have the thought of blue, of movement, I even have the thought of matter. I have all kinds of thoughts. So you do a list of your thoughts. And when you do this list of your thoughts, or what you call ideas, you check among which of these ideas, which one of these ideas you can produce or you cannot produce. Okay, is it clear how he proceeds? So you make a list of ideas. Can you produce the idea of any substantial being? Please keep it quiet. Can you produce the idea of any substantial being? The chair is considered to be a substantial being. It exists without the need of something else, in quote. Blue depends on, the color black depends on the chair to be existing in the chair. You can't have blue alone. This is what you call an accident. The wall, the chair, the lion, the angel, and you are substances. So can you conceive of something which is a chair and which is independent in its existence? Do you have the power to do that?
The question is, the object is independent of its existence?
No. So, can you conceive an idea which is a substance? I hope by now you agreed that everything you see, think of, or dream of are ideas. I'm not dealing with the external world. Why we are not dealing with the external world?
Not sure.
Because we're not sure that it exists, and we're not sure that what we think of it is the case. So now you look at your ideas. We're not anymore asking the question, do they correspond to something outside of thought? Okay, so you just think of your, please keep it quiet. So we're just saying, you look at these ideas and you ask yourself, which of these ideas I am capable of producing as an idea, not as something referring to something else. So you have this idea of a substantial wall. Can you create that, you, as an idea? You are who? Thinking substance. So can the thinking substance create the idea of a substance which is a wall? Yeah, why? Well, in this case, what is proportionate to what? Both substances. Can you conceive substance if you are substance? Yeah, by the proportion of the formal cause to the objectivity of the idea. Meaning, if you're a substance, you can conceive a substance. If you are Steve Jobs, you can conceive Apple. You can, because what you are, your power, you can produce in relation to your power. If you are substantial, you can conceive an idea which is substantial. Okay. Can you conceive accidents which are less than substances? Yeah, how? You're above them. And the rule of the proportion of the formal cause to the objectivity of the idea, what does it say? You can produce the same or less. Thank you. So can you produce the idea of a substance that doesn't think? Yeah. Why? Because it's less than the substance that thinks. This is what you call matter. The stone, at least for Descartes, doesn't think. Okay, so you see, you can practically, maybe the thinking substance, imagine it like a simulation machine, the matrix and stuff like that. Maybe it's producing all of these ideas for you, and hence you see flying birds, crocodiles, walls, colors, and all of these things, and even matter. And all of this can be produced by this simulation machine called the thinking substance. Is this clear? You can do that. Nothing proves that now there's something else. And thank God, you stumble on an idea, which is the idea of the infinite. Can you produce the idea of the infinite? Which means perfection. Why not? Huh? We are not perfect, meaning we are not infinite, we are finite. Great. But what could the atheist object? Revision of the last time. You tell him, you know, it's incredible. I have this idea of the infinite. Something which is absolutely infinite, infinitely in perfection, having an infinite number of perfections, always with him. An incredible thing, perfection. Or what I called last time, goodness and stuff like that. Goodness is one of the perfections which are part of the perfect thing in my head. So what would the atheist say?
Infinite means not finite.
Huh?
Infinite means not finite, and it's an abstract negation.
Great. So what would be an example of an abstract negation? Can you give me an example to explain that? Abstract negation. I have no pizza. Great. So what does the atheist say? The language-based kind of philosophies. I tell you, what? The infinite, it's a ridiculous thought. It's simply when you put the thought of finite with negation that you get what? No finitude, infinitude. Great. What can you reply to that? Is really infinitude an abstract negation, just a linguistic entity that expresses your deception or whatever? Or just a game? It's either your deception or a word game.
Comes from deception. Like you say, we have to keep
Yeah.
deception.
Yeah. So can God be an abstract negation? Meaning, it's different than man. Just like, and it's just in your head, an abstract negation.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Who's for yes? No. Why not? It wasn't you. Who said no? You. So why not?
It's not an abstract negation. It's not a linguistic thing.
Why not?
Because when we actually say it's not, you actually won't.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, so what depends on it, this idea? Huh? Before you went too far, before your existence.
We have this idea of perfect.
Yeah, what depends on the idea of perfect that is real for sure? Desire and doubt. So can you desire and doubt if you don't have any clue of what perfection is? No. And perfection must be there as an active idea, doing something, because you are longing towards it. So Descartes says, you can't have a real effect with an abstract cause. If I tell you Caesar is not in the room or Jesus is not in the room, you don't care. It doesn't change anything. On the other hand, the idea of perfection provokes in you, generates in you, please can you move? It generates in you the desire and doubt. Please can you move? No worries, I'm hearing sounds from that area. So it generates desires and doubts. Okay? Now, if you have a real desire and a real doubt, it's clear that what desire and doubt depends on must be real. So how can you negate and how can you express deception? It's only because you wanted something better. You see, actually, it's the abstract negations that depends on the idea of perfection and not the idea of perfection that is derived from abstract negation. I hope this is clear, okay? Now, if you take the second one, real negation, can you get the idea of God by real negation? You know, real negation is like Buddha, yoga. You annihilate your thought and you have this epiphany, which is wonderful. You are the Atman, you are God. Can you do it like that? Why not?
Because you need to think to actually know God.
Yeah, why? What is the reason for that? Can you, like, by destroying your thought with hash, alcohol, meditation, or I don't know what, reach a full grasp of what God is, meaning the perfect idea? Now, why not?
Because it's unclear.
It
becomes unclear.
Still didn't get the reason. Yeah?
Constrained by proportionality.
You're constrained by proportionality. What does it mean? Yeah.
I think you have to have the full mind power to.
Yeah, why you need the full mind power if you have it to conceive God?
To create smart ideas, we need to be smart.
Yeah.
And we need to create bad ideas, we need to be
Not smart.
proportional, not smart.
Okay, so when you negate your thought really, like
We will
with,
not be smart.
are you smart?
No.
No. So can you create the most incredible idea? No. Okay, by the proportion of ideas, so this one doesn't work too. The last one to finish this revision is the progress. Some people tell you, yeah, you know why humans believe in God? Because humans are evolving, and when they project that evolution in the future, if they evolve a lot, they will become like God. So God is simply a kind of potential, man is a potential God. Okay, does it work? No. Why not?
Because there is already the idea of perfect when they do that.
Why is there already the idea of perfect?
Because it's the reason why they want to progress.
This is one sentence later. Why you are sure that the idea of perfection is already here and not something that will come in the future?
Progress comes from the infinite and not the
Yeah, this is the next sentence. There's a sentence missing here in between. Because we desire. If we desire, can the idea be not here yet? No. So can you have an actual effect if you have a potential cause? You know, potential cause, remember the wood. Can you warm yourself on a log, on a piece of wood? You know, you put your piece of wood and you are warming yourself. No. Why not?
Because we need fire.
You need fire. So wood is potentially fire. It's a potential fire. Can you warm yourself with potential fire? No, you warm yourself with real fire. So it's the same. If you have desire, it means there's a real perfection acting on you, and hence you have a real effect and a real cause which are actually present. And this is when you add your sentence, which is actually you can only conceive progress because of what?
It's
Because of desire, which is because of what?
Perfection.
Because of perfection. It's not that progress will create this perfection, actually, because perfection is already here, acting in you and on you, that you will reach, that you will progress. So I hope this is clear. It's clear? So, and then you go to the demonstration of the unicity of God, the polytheism, and all of these things. Now, let's see if you understand. Do you know now why you cannot doubt that you doubt? Huh? You know the song, I doubt of this, I doubt of that, but can I doubt that I doubt? I can't doubt that I doubt. Okay, so why can't you doubt that you doubt? Yeah, but what? Now you know the correct answer. There's a little song that all, we all sing, like, I doubt, I cannot doubt that I doubt, then I think I am, you can sing it. So, but why can't you doubt that you doubt? What is doubt? Doubt is to suspend your belief when it comes to this or that. Can you suspend your belief that this is blue? Yeah. Can you suspend that you are here? Yeah. Can you suspend this? Yeah. Why you cannot suspend your act of suspension? Now you know why. It's not only because to suspend it you need to suspend.
It depends on perfection.
Huh?
It depends on perfection.
Great. Doubt depends on perfection. And if it depends on perfection, and if perfection is literally attracting you to itself, to perfection, can you suspend that? Why not? This doubt, desire, they depend on what? They are the effects of what? Of perfection. Are you there? Are you your creation? No. You see, they are what you are and not what you do. I hope you're getting this difference. You are created as a desiring, doubting being, meaning as a being who seeks perfection. This is what you are. So if you want to imagine yourself, just to help you understand, there's a kind of arrow inside you, an arrow pointing towards God, like when you have these compasses with the North Pole pointing upwards all the time. So you have this arrow inside you that points all the time towards God. All the time, whatever you do. Now, of course, when you are in your being all the time seeking perfection, you can doubt, think, desire, walk, eat, sleep, and all of these things. But this thing that points towards God, which is not dependent on you, this is what you are, this thing you cannot suspend. Because if you want to suspend it, what would you be doing? Huh? Not destroy yourself. I'll answer if you can destroy your thought soon in 1 second. But let's suppose you want to suspend this desire towards God. Wouldn't you be still desiring to get close to God? Do you get the twist? If you really want to suspend your thought or your desire or your doubt, why would you do that? Because you think this would be better, more cool, whatever you want, more free, meaning you would be still caught in this never-ending desire to get something better. And now you understand why you cannot doubt that you doubt. Yes, doubt can suspend anything, but in its reality, doubt is this desire of perfection. And you cannot suspend the desire of perfection, because to suspend it, you would be desiring a kind of perfection. I hope now you're getting these two layers. There's in you a kind of force now. It's a mental force. And this mental force can generate doubts, thoughts, ideas, speculations, whatever you want. But these thoughts that this force generate cannot suspend the force. I hope you're getting this difference. This substance is generating thoughts. I want to go to the mountain. I want to think about that, this, that. But all of these thoughts are generated by what? By the engine, which is wanting to get to perfection. And of course, the thought the engine generates cannot suspend the engine. Because any thoughts that you generate, why you generate it? Because of this never-ending strives towards perfection. And this is why Descartes says you can't suspend your thought unless you destroy yourself. These are the options, and this is why Buddha understood it very well. If you want to suspend your thought, you need annihilation. It's either this or that. Either you are annihilated, or you think. Why you think? Because in your being you are attracted by this thought of the infinite. Now you see how the system works. You see how this God is alive, and it is super alive. Contrary to what Pascal used to say about Descartes, it's not really the God of the mathematicians and he's just, geometrico-mathematical. No, Descartes really thinks that this God is like, it's actually what makes you live, literally. If you remove God, it's like, I don't know, it's as if you unplug yourself from electricity, you fall. It's literally like that. Disconnect yourself from the idea of perfection, you fall. Okay? I hope you got this idea. Now, so to conclude, before we start reading, so far we've seen the demonstrations of the existence of God, or of the external world, by imagination. I'll not do them again today. We've seen by understanding, and you have the last one by intuition. By understanding are the proofs on the infinite. By imagination is that you believe there's something outside because it's vivid and because you believe it and stuff like that. Now you have proven that there is an infinite by understanding. You know that there is a God. But there's another proof which is the short proof by intuition. Descartes says, do you know that the infinite is infinite? Meaning it must be perfect. Yeah. Do you know that the infinite must have all perfections? Anyone? Can you be infinite and perfect if you don't have all of the perfections? No. Can you be infinite if you lack a perfection? No. Can you be infinite if you are not eternal? No. Can you be infinite if you change all the time? Meaning some days you're infinite, some days you're not infinite. No. Can you be infinite if you don't exist? Is existence one of the perfections? Yeah. So you have all. Can you be infinite if you're not good? No. So how do you know all of that so confidently? Descartes says it's really like remarkable that if you ask anyone about the infinite, he knows all the answers, even if he doesn't know all the details of the infinite, but he knows at least a good package of, he knows a lot about the infinite, knowing that we never saw the infinite, we never really thought about it, but we just know what it is. Now, I'll just give you another example. Do you know what you have inside your room exactly? Exactly. Now you know exactly what you have in the drawer? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, like there's a pencil, a pen, and a booklet.
No.
You know exactly. Inside your closet. Exactly. Yeah. You know exactly what you have all the time. No. Okay. So, at least I don't know. Usually we don't know. When you have the knowledge, if you go there, if you open the drawer, you would know exactly what you have inside your drawer. He says this is what you call, it's the lowest form of knowledge, it's a knowledge by imagination. Knowledge by imagination is a knowledge where you need all the time to go back to it to see what it is to get the knowledge out of it. If you want to know how many chairs there are in the other room, you need to go there, look at the room, and you will get the knowledge out of it. So it's a knowledge where you depend on something else to get the knowledge. I hope this is clear. This is what you call a knowledge by remembering or by sensation or by imagination. It's the same. So it's the kind of, you always need to go back and see it in order to get the knowledge. On the other hand, do you know that you can have an isosceles triangle inscribed in a circle? Not inscribed, but whose summit is the center. Do you know that? Can you make arithmetics and geometrical demonstrations without the need to go and look at anything, just by focusing on the thought process? Yeah. But in order to get the results, shouldn't you focus a lot? Isn't it like you need to make an effort when you do mathematics? So this is the second type of knowledge. You see mathematics and science as a second degree of the knowledge kind of, it's a second degree of knowledge, meaning it's a knowledge where you need to make an effort to get results. But you don't need something beside or other than your mental constitution in order to get these results. Okay, so this is the second type. The third type, which is the highest type, is the intuition of the idea of God. Do you need to make any efforts in order to know that the idea of perfection includes all perfections? Any efforts at all? No. That it is infinite, eternal, all the time the same, existent, etc., etc. You don't need any effort to do that. And this idea is all the time persisting in you. So this is why, by intuition, you know that there is a God because you know that this idea is all the time there, and whenever you think of something, it is for that idea, and hence you're all the time coupled with God. This is what's called by intuition. Okay, so I hope now we're done. We did the meditation. There's a last section for those who want to read the whole of meditation. It's a section on the error of the body. You don't have it. You don't have it. Which means sometimes you feel thirsty in your throat, but actually you're not really thirsty. You know, sometimes you have you feel a pain in your toe, but the real pain is in your back. You know these things? No? Let's suppose you feel pain in your toe. You go to the doctor, he tells you, you know, your toe is fine. Actually, you have the bones in your back which are pinching the nerve. This is why you think that the damage is in your toe, but actually the damage is in your back. So does this mean that you are an imperfect creature now? Because of this kind of discrepancy between the information you get when it comes to your body and what is really happening in your heart. This is really the last chapter in Descartes. Does this mean that you are an imperfect creature? Now, Descartes says no. Okay, how does he prove it? He says it's better to have on one nerve, first it's better to have less nerves than a nerve for each single bit of your body, or else it would be like like one of these wooden, it would be like a pack of nerves. If you have for each centimeter of your body a nerve, can you imagine how you need too many nerves? So at least Descartes thinks that if you have one nerve that connects many pieces together, it's more economical as to the distribution of. This is number one. Number two, if you have a nerve passing via many organs, you will have information related to these organs on that nerve. So of course sometimes you will have this kind of discrepancy, but this is better than having a kind of nervous system that gives you the overall state of your body, because in this case you wouldn't know what is happening in each organ, or at least in a number of organs on the same nervous line. So Descartes says, if you have less nerves that give you information for series of organs, with your knowledge you can correct the information like when you go to the doctor. So he says it's not a big problem, it's not an imperfection, it's treated. Actually it's a more economical way and protective way to make bodies and senses. Okay, I hope you got the idea. Because if you have just one nerve that gives you the overall state, you wouldn't know if there's something wrong in one organ or another. On the other hand, if you have a nerve for each bit of your body, you will have a problem with the construction of your body. Okay, so this is the argument. You don't have it, just for you to cover the whole of the meditations. Okay, is this clear? Yeah. Yeah, Descartes says you are perfect creatures. You have two objections for the perfect creature. The first one is that you make mistakes when I say the sun is big or small, and it's not the case. The second one is sometimes our body sends us false information, or what seems to be a false information. Descartes says for the first one, you can make mistake, yeah, but this is a sign of perfection, because to make mistakes you have to be free and knowledgeable. Meaning you have to be able to decide whatever you want about something, which is better than being like a robot or like a piece of stone. The second one is the body errors, which I explained. Which means actually it's better to have one nervous line with many organs, and you can correct the data by knowledge, by comparing and this is not a big deal. But actually it would be a big deal if you had 10,000 nerves for each centimeters of your body. Okay? So now do we know what's happening outside? Is there something that exists? How do you know that?
By intuition.
Is it by intuition?
No.
So how do we know? So let's suppose now I touch the table. Am I touching the table, or is this still a thought? This is the table. Yeah, you touch the table. It is distinct that I'm touching the table. Now, is this field, the field, and the image, and all of these things, are they in my thought?
No.
Where are they? No. Where are they? In your thought. But is your thought telling you that there's also something out there? You know, this appearance is in your thought. The wood itself, is it in your thought? Did you get the difference? No, nothing. It's really not that complicated. Look at this table. Think of a stone, or look at this table. Do you feel it heavy in your thought? This table. Yeah, look at it. Do you feel that it's heavy? So it's heavy in your thought? Yeah. Okay. So you don't feel it heavy in your thought. It's clear. When you look at it, you know it's just an image. It's the way you perceive it. It's not the wood. Now the wood didn't get inside your brain, unless you are an exceptional being. The wood didn't get inside your brain. So is the wood outside? Is there something outside? Yeah. And this is your image of that thing. So what you see is the image. This image is telling you there is something outside. There is a table here, which is a wooden table. What guarantees now that there is a table when you have a clear, distinct thought? You believe that there is a table beyond your perception of the table, right? Yeah. So you believe that there is a table beyond the fact that you perceive the table. What guarantees that there is a table and this is not only a hallucination? Huh? You touch it, it's a thought. It doesn't guarantee that it's outside. Please keep it quiet. You touch it, you knock on it, all of these are still sensations, i.e. thoughts. But you also believe that there's something independent from you, which is the table. What guarantees that now?
Numbers based on thought.
Huh?
Numbers based on thought.
No? You know, it's written on
God.
God, thank you. Thank you. Why you need God, man? We did all that for what? For this. So is God a good God?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you have thoughts, would these thoughts be betraying you when they are clear and distinct? No. Why? Because if God, which is your creator, because we have proven that He's your creator, if when you have clear and distinct thoughts, actually these thoughts are false, it would mean that God is betraying you, or He's playing tricks on you. Would He be able to play tricks on you if He's a good God? No. So when you have clear thoughts, what guarantees that they have their correspondent in itself outside of you? It's God that makes the correlation. Okay? What does it mean when Einstein scribbles in his room, you know, these little things, mathematical stuff? What guarantees that they're going to fit something which is a black hole 100 years later? Huh? Because God is faithful and good. So you see, each time we do theoretical physics, are you proving the existence of God? Yeah, why yes? When you do theoretical physics, why do you prove the existence of God? You know, theoretical physics like Einstein and stuff like that. Why they all should be all religious, like profoundly religious? At least Newton was profoundly religious. He knew that when he does this on a piece of paper and it works, it's like incredible. In our language. Yeah, so when your theoretical physics works, what does it mean?
In the applied
does it mean in this diagram? It means that thoughts are describing what? Describing matter. Okay? It means that what you think here fits what is happening here. Now, thought is not reality. And actually, when your thought processes, you see that they are being verified by experience all the time. It means that there's something allowing this kind of incredible coordination between your thoughts and nature or matter, what people usually call reality, which is matter. And what allows this coordination is that there is a God. Or this coordination proves that there is a God, meaning there must be one source, one cause, which is the origin of matter and thought. And this one cause is allowing to make what you think here clearly fits what's happening there in reality, meaning in nature. Yeah?
God doesn't create us.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Why thus is perfect means good?
Yeah, because perfection includes all the perfections. Goodness, all knowledge, all. This is the notion of perfection. If you say, why goodness is a perfection, this is the question. Yeah. It's a tautology. I don't know what to ask. It's is badness a perfection? You see?
But it's perfectly even.
No, you can't be perfectly even.
How to define good?
You say perfection is good. Perfection, goodness is perfection in the sense that it is what you strive to be. This is the objection bit of your friend last time. Even if you want to be evil, you strive to be. And this is the good we're talking about. Did you get the difference? Let's suppose, as I said last time, we want to look awful. Now, this desire to look awful is triggered by something that you consider is a good. Now, do we define or do we know goodness? In philosophy, you never define goodness. Because if you say, I can't define goodness, it means that goodness is below the definition, and it's not anymore goodness. Actually, you define for goodness, and not you define goodness. Did you get the difference? When you want to define now, when you ask me, can we define the good? Why are you asking that? Because you think that there's a good for thought, which is the definition. So your desire to define is itself attracted by the good, and not, you can give a definition for the good. Did you get this? What I'm trying to say, this is why I insisted and I repeat. The good is like a center of attraction. It's a physical thing. It's like it's like an engine. It's like an energy. So this is the perfect and the good, and it's triggering in all of us the desire to perfection all the time. So when you ask, can you define this, can you do that, I would like to do this, I doubt that, all of these things that we talk about, we are all the time attracted physically by the good. Now, can you define the good? Of course not, because the good is actually the engine that is producing all the definitions, all the actions, all the volitions, etc., etc. And if you want a demonstration, Plotinus has a beautiful demonstration where he proves that you cannot define the good. So if you want that, later I can give it to you. It's complicated and long, but he proves really by A plus B and logic that the good is beyond any definition. The good and the one cannot be defined. Actually, they are the causes of all the definitions, but they themselves cannot be defined. What we get in this connection. So if you ask that, is the good itself perfect? Yeah, of course, it's a tautology. I mean, it's like saying A is A. We know that the good is what we strive for, and we strive for perfection, the one, and all of this. Is this clear? So you have to be careful. When I say the good, I'm not talking about the social good. Like be nice, be quiet, speak politely. I'm not speaking about that. Say even when you want to kill and you want to be Satanist, you are still driven by the good. Right? Even if this content looks very, very bad. Yeah.
I was going to say, how the thought of this is a table. How the thought of this is a table.
Yeah.
And we make sure it is a table by orientation from God.
Right?
From God.
It's not from when you look at that and you distinctly see that there's a table, if the idea is clear and distinct, if you remember the second meditation, you know this idea is truth. And if you know that this idea is truthful, like in the Galileo's demonstration, either God is betraying you when it comes to what seems to you to be true, or He's not betraying you when it comes to what seems to be true to you. So, God cannot be betraying you because He's good. Is it clear? This is your question or not?
No, I was saying something that, if you perceive that this is the table,
Yeah.
and then you ask how we make sure that this is the table.
I say how you make sure that there is a table.
That there is a table.
Yeah.
If the perception was wrong.
Perception are not clear and distinct ideas. They are distinct ideas, they are not clear and distinct. Clear and distinct is like the experiment with Galileo. When you have two balls that fall at the same time, you get them closer and you see that the 2 kilo piece falls at the same time as a 1 kilo piece. This is a clear and distinct idea. Looking at colors, seeing shapes, all of these are distinct ideas, but they're not clear. I hope you're getting this different. If you read the readings, it's there an extension. Showing colors, smells, and shapes are distinct ideas and not clear and distinct. On the other hand, when you perceive that matter is an infinite variation of shape and extension, this is a clear and distinct idea, not only a distinct idea. If you get the difference. So you could be mistaken when it comes to the distinct ideas, but not to the clear ideas. Okay? So when you do theoretical physics, you don't deal with colors and with shapes and stuff like that. You only deal with the arithmetical and geometrical structure of things. And the arithmetical and geometrical structure of things are clear and distinct, and they're always true, and not, depending on if you are colorblind or not and things like that, they would be true or not. And Descartes really distinguishes these very, very clearly. Saying you have what you call secondary properties, which are smells, touch, all of these things. And you have what you call primary properties, which are the geometrical and the arithmetical properties, and these are more certain than the first ones. Okay? So now let's read. Can you open please your booklets? You have a booklet. Yeah.
This example, the table is a secondary property.
The image of the table, yeah, but its geometry is a primary property. So you open. Did you get this difference? The geometrical, physical description of the table is a primary description. What you see like that, these are secondary properties. They're only distinct. You can distinguish this from that, but it's not that it's a clear idea. You can't really say it's exactly this or that. But when you say matter is an infinite variation of, etc., this is a clear, distinct idea. Okay? So open at... So in the reading section at page 27. In the reading section, meaning towards the end of the booklet,
Sir, for the test will be everything that we covered, right?
everything in Descartes.
So Thursday? Including Thursday?
I'll talk about that Thursday. So, page 27. Did you get it? So you read, so there remains only the idea of God. Who would like to read? Or else I start picking, 27. So there remains only the idea of God. So you would like to read 27.
So there remains only the idea of God, and I must consider whether there is anything in the idea which could not have originated in myself. By the word God, I understand a substance that is infinite, eternal, independent, supremely intelligent, supremely powerful, and which created both myself and everything else, if anything else did, that exists. All these attributes are such that the more carefully I concentrate on them, the less possible it seems that they could have originated from me alone. So from what has been said, it must be concluded that God necessarily exists.
Okay, so what is he saying? Did you get the text?
Yeah.
Is it that complicated? No. Okay. So what is he saying briefly?
He's saying that when he thinks about the stuff around him and such, he understands that God truly exists because stuff is infinite.
Yeah.
The more he concentrates on stuff, the more he uses God.
The more he concentrates on stuff or on God? The more he concentrates on the idea of God or on...
On the idea of God.
Thank you. Okay? The more you think of this idea that seems to be just there in your head, which is God is infinite, incredible, all-powerful, all, the more you think he must exist. Okay? This is really like spontaneous. So who would like to continue? So can you continue, please? You have the text? Yeah? You don't want to continue. You can refuse. It's okay. You refuse. You would like? You refuse too. So, we'll move into a dictatorship mode soon. Don't worry. You refuse. I'm taking notes, huh? Refuse, don't refuse. You, thank you. Okay.
It is true that I have the idea of substance in me in virtue of the fact that I am a substance. But this would not account for my having the idea of an infinite substance when I am finite, unless this idea proceeded from some substance which really was infinite.
Okay. So what is he saying here? Please keep it quiet. So it's page 27. At the end of the booklet. Which are the numbers underlined. Okay? The underlined numbers, not the... Okay. So what did he say, please?
Yes, I'm reading.
Yeah, please reread. What is he saying? What? He has priority. Yeah.
He's saying that we can have an idea of an infinite substance because there is an exterior.
No, he didn't. In this paragraph, what is he saying? It is true that I have the idea of substance in me in virtue of the fact that I am a substance. What does it mean? Does it ring a bell, this sentence? Proportion, thank you. This is a sentence that points to proportion. It's clear? Yes?
Even though we're not infinite, we grasp the idea of infinite.
Is it said in the sentence? So can you comment on the second sentence? But this would not account for my having. Anyone?
He is saying that God exists.
Not yet. He's not saying that in this sentence.
Unless
Yeah.
I think he's saying, although the substance, you cannot think of a different substance here.
Yes, this is what he's saying. Can you spell it in the sentence and read it out loud and comment on it? You have a commentary question in your exam. We're doing that for that. Okay? You'll have a text and you need to comment on it. Can you comment, please?
Should I say this?
Yeah. Say the sentence and tell me where you see what you have said.
I am a substance, but this would not account for my having the idea of a different substance.
Yeah. So what is the argument he's giving for that? In the sentence, yeah.
Even though he is a substance, he is. You cannot think of an infinite substance because he himself is finite.
Okay. So it's clear what this paragraph means that by proportion I can generate the concept of or the idea of substance, but not the idea of infinite substance. Why? Because I'm finite. I hope this is clear. So next.
And I must not think that just as my conceptions of rest and darkness or negating movement and light. So my perception of the infinite is arrived at not by means of a true idea, but merely by negating the finite. Fine. On the contrary, I clearly understand that there is more reality in an infinite substance than a finite one, and hence that my perception of the infinite, that is God, is in some way prior to my perception of the finite, which is myself. For how could I understand that I doubted or desired that is lacked something, and that I was not wholly perfect unless there were in me some idea of a more perfect being, which enabled me to recognize my own defects by comparison.
Great. So what is he saying here?
He's saying that the idea of infinite is by negating the finite.
Yeah.
And he understands the reality of an infinite more than the finite. He's saying that to understand the finite, there's something infinite that is telling him to understand.
Yeah. So what's interesting here? What's striking? You need to be able to get this kind of thing. What is surprising in what he's saying? There's something a bit, weird. If you want to put it in your everyday language, he's saying something very weird. This is how you comment on a text.
So there's more reality in infinite than finite?
Huh?
You think there's more reality in infinite than finite?
This is not very striking. If I tell you there's more reality in the infinite than the finite, you look at me as you usually do. You tell me, yeah, okay, it's great. Okay, why not? But he said something weird.
He knew the infinite before knowing himself.
Yeah. How do you put this in a normal language which is a bit striking, which is a bit surprising? Thank you. As if someone is saying, you know what, I know God before I know myself. This is the sentence. This is when you spot really something which is interesting in the text. He's saying literally, you know what, you know God before you know yourself. You see how Descartes is distant from the Descartes we know, meaning the Descartes you find on Wikipedia. Because Descartes is not to say, I know myself first. He never said that. He says the exact opposite. He's saying, not I think I am, I know myself. He's saying, I know God first. Now, why he knows God first? This is how you comment, I repeat. You bring out the striking point and then you start explaining why he's saying that. Why did he get into this kind of striking point? So why he knows God first?
Because he understands that he's not perfect, and to have that thought of him not perfect, there's something more perfect.
Great. He has an immediate grasp of himself as being finite, but to be able to grasp that, you need to even grasp more that the thing which you lack and the thing which, in comparison to which you see yourself as imperfect. So you cannot even consider yourself as finite if you don't have this background idea of the perfection. See, finitude is derived from infinitude and not the other way around. And what are the proofs now that he gives? He gives proofs now. Great, that we doubt and desire. You see, now this is really like the proof. How do you know that you're finite and how can you prove that? Doubt, desire. And what are the opposition and what is he objecting to? People who say what? In the beginning of the text. No.
Something that is clear.
No, in the beginning of the text, what did he write? He talked about things which are there. Beginning of the text.
Negating that.
How does he say it in the beginning of the text? He talked about things which we covered, but not in this language. First sentence.
This conception of rest and darkness are around by negating.
Yeah. What is rest and darkness? Why is he talking about rest and darkness here? So rest and darkness are what you call abstract negations. I mean, when there's no light, we say it's darkness. When there's no movement, we say there's rest. And these are equivalent of abstract negations, meaning it's not that there is something, but it's simply because there's not something that you consider that there is something. It's like I don't have pizzas, but what do you have? Bread. Right? When you don't have movement, it looks like rest, but it's not that there is rest. Right? So he's opposing that. Is it clear? So if you want to comment on this, you have to really spot the striking point, which is, I know God before myself. Knowing myself as who I am because I am finite depends on the knowledge of God. Argument, doubt, and desire. Opposition, meaning counter-argument or objection. Rest and darkness, meaning the negative ideas. I hope this is clear. Okay? So, who wants to read next? Please.
Nor can it be said that this idea of God is perhaps materially false, though, and the soul is come from nothing, which is what I observed, just going into the because of the ideas of different and so on. On the contrary, it is utterly clear in this book, and contains in itself more objective reality than any other idea. Hence, there is no idea which is in itself truer or less valuable to be suspected of falsehood. This idea of supremely perfect and infinite being, I say, true enough is I say, true in the highest degree. For although perhaps one may imagine that such a being does not exist, it cannot be supposed that the idea of such a being represents something unreal. As I said, with regard to the idea of code, the idea is moreover utterly clear and distinct, so whatever I clearly and distinctly perceive as being real and true and implying any perfection is only contained in it. It does not matter that I do not grasp the infinite, or that there are countless additional attributes of God which I cannot in any way grasp, and perhaps cannot even reach in my thought, for it is in the nature of the infinite not to be grasped by a finite being like myself. It is enough that I understand the infinite, and that I judge that all the attributes which I clearly perceive and note imply some perfection, and perhaps countless others of which I am ignorant, are present involved either formally or eminently. This is enough to make the idea that I have of God the truest and most clear and distinct of all my things.
Okay. It's a long one. What is at stake here? Yes, but what did he say before on nothing? So there's a whole section on is this idea coming from nothing or is it nothing? In the text. I just here, you need to read and see. No, the nothing is the first sentence. Yeah. Can the idea of God come from nothing? Please keep it quiet. This is the first sentence, huh? Why God cannot come from nothing? Why the idea of perfection cannot come from nothing, as some people claim? Even if we didn't cover this argument per se, but now you should be able to answer.
Because it contains in itself more objective reality than any other idea.
Yeah, so why is the idea that contains the most objective reality cannot come from nothing? Cannot have as its formal cause nothingness?
Because nothing cannot cause any
Nothing cannot cause anything, yes, in the sense, when it comes to ideas, can nothing produce ideas? Why not? By proportion. So of course nothing cannot produce the most perfect idea. And this is referring to what, if you read carefully, which case that we have seen? Can you be nothing and produce the idea of God? No, this is the real negation, annihilation. Can you annihilate yourself and then produce the idea of God? No, because nothingness is nothing, meaning it doesn't have any degree of reality, hence it doesn't have any power to produce any perfection as an idea. So, who would like to continue? Can you continue, please? But perhaps.
But perhaps I'm something greater than I myself understand, and all the perfections which I attribute to God are somehow a new potential, though not yet emerging or actualized. For I am now experiencing a gradual increase in my knowledge, and I see nothing to prevent its increasing more and more in infinity. Further, I see no reason why I should not be able to use this increased knowledge to acquire all the other perfections of God. And finally, the potentiality for increased perfections is already within me. Why should not this be enough to generate the idea of such perfections?
Yeah. Anyone? You have priority. Are you able at least to detect in the text something that we were talking about 20 minutes ago? The third one. Did you detect that at least? No? Tell me, just to see why you're not able or able to detect. It's not, like... So where did you detect it in the text? Huh? Potential, thank you. I have these keywords. So when you read this text, you need to aware to there are triggers. So when you say, I'm getting more knowledge, what is he saying? Progress, yeah. When you say potential, okay? So what is the argument now about? What is he talking about?
Progress comes from the infinite and not the infinite comes from God.
Is he saying this now in the text? No, he's talking about this idea, yeah, but in the text, what is he talking about?
That maybe we can reach infinity.
But in the text, how? I want you to read the...
Increase of my knowledge.
Yes, by a gradual increase on... So infinity would come from what then? From progress, not knowledge. From the progress of knowledge. Is this clear? Okay, so the next one. Please, next one.
This is impossible. First, how is this true? That there is a gradual increase in my knowledge, and that I have many potentialities which are not yet actual. This is both quite irrelevant to the idea of God, which contains absolutely nothing but its potential. And indeed, this is a gradual increase in knowledge. Is it such a sure sign of imperfection? What is more, even if my knowledge always increases more and more, I recognize that it will never actually be infinite, since it will never reach the point where it is not capable of a further increase. God, on the other hand, I take to be actually infinite, so that nothing can be out to this perfection. And finally, I perceive that the objective of neither an idea cannot be produced merely by potential being, which strictly speaking is nothing, but only by actual or formal being.
Okay. So, Yes, you want to comment?
Yes, yes, he's saying that the progress is not perfect, and there will always be, no matter how much we progress, there will always be more progress to make, so it will always be imperfect, but he considers God to always be perfect.
Yes, so is progressing, we didn't cover this argument per se, is progressing a sign of perfection or imperfection? Imperfect. See, when you consider the idea of perfection, can it itself be progressing and be perfect? No. Right? This is the first argument. I hope it's clear. You see, this is a shortcut argument. The perfect cannot progress. So you can't say that actually it's making progress. The second argument towards the end, so you have two arguments here. So if you're commenting the text, you have to be able to number the arguments. It's very important. You have to say, he's trying to prove that, and these are the arguments, 1, 2, 3, or however, whatever the number is. So what is the second argument, which is a bit different? Please keep it quiet.
The same like we saw in class that potential perfection doesn't mean that it will be a perfection.
Be careful. Potential cannot, it's not a potential perfection. The language is a bit shuffled, yeah? Exactly. If you are potentially perfect, you cannot produce the perfect because you have to be in act perfect. Okay? So, if you are just in potentia perfect, sorry. So if you just have the potential to be perfect, you can't produce the perfect. So, and we know that we have the idea of perfection already because we doubt, we desire, and we try to progress. So the entity that created this idea must be already there, and the idea must be there because we have these actual effects. This is the argument by potential. What time is it, please? 4:40. So we still have 5 minutes. So who's next? 4 minutes. Okay, so I'll stop reading here and just wrap up the thing. So please keep it quiet. In your exam, you will have a paragraph like one of these, which is this big, and you'll have to comment on it, as we did now. So you say, his main point is that, or he's trying to prove that, and here you have to show me that you're able to detect, we're not done yet, please keep it quiet. You can put your stuff in 4 minutes. Thank you. So, you should be able to detect really like the interesting twist or points that he's talking about. And when you detect that, tell me, he knows God before himself, or God must be there, not in potential, but in act. These are really like the striking theses that he's presenting. You tell me he's proving that by doing the first argument, the second argument, the third argument, and you detail the argument. Now, when you do that, you need also, while you are explaining this kind of progression, if you encounter a word which is technical, like substance or like infinite or stuff like that, you explain it while you are explaining the unfolding of the demonstration. Is this clear? So you have this kind of two things to do. You have a number of things to do to spot the main thesis, to see what are the arguments that sustain it and what are the objections to that thesis. And then, on the way, if you encounter technical words or things that are twisted or weird or whatever, you clarify them, refine them, etc. This is the first side of the commentary. With that, as I will explain to you more in detail tomorrow, you will need also to spot stylistical tricks that he does. Is he using images, metaphors? Is his language dry, not dry? Is it straightforward, confusing, clear, or whatever? While doing that, you should also do this. This is what we call a commentary. Okay? You have to tell me, you read, he shouldn't have put this sentence first, but it would have been better if he did this before that, etc. This is how you comment. Okay, so you have to relate both the content and the form of the text together. The content is thesis, arguments, objection. Form is he using metaphors, is he using images? Did the image or the example he gave serve his purpose or not? When he goes about coldness, you can tell me, yeah, but this coldness thing, we're not seeing how it works here. I should have given an example which is less complicated or less. Or you tell me the example he gave about darkness is a very good example, or whatever. You comment in this way. Okay? So I advise you to study for Thursday. This way we will do a revision session for Thursday. Your exam is on Tuesday. Do you have questions on that? No? Okay. You can leave. Yeah. Huh? You send me the reason and you will do a makeup. You send me a pic and you do a makeup.